everyone, and welcome to the Write with Melissa YouTube channel. My name is Melissa, and I coach diverse creatives to be authentic storytellers. I am so glad you are here today. Today is Tarot Tuesday, and this week we're doing a timeless pick a card reading. This reading is for anyone who's found their way to this page and who is struggling with finding their creative inspiration. You're feeling stuck in a rut. Something is stressing you out and you're not able to break through and make progress creatively. Now, this could be your creative career. Maybe you're having some challenges managing your career or making the next decision or breaking through, breaking into Hollywood, breaking into publishing, finding an agent, and you're growing frustrated. It could be that you're lacking inspiration and you don't know what to take on for your next project, so you're feeling a little stuck. Or maybe you're just dealing with the classic writer's block and you're not in love with the story that you're writing, or you're having trouble making progress on the story that you're writing. This reading is for you. So what I want you to do is actually look at the four piles and pick the pile that you're drawn to the most. They go from left to right, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but pick the pile that you're being called to. And it could be because of the charm or the 10 or the button on it. It could also be the number that's resonating with you. Just trust your intuition. If you're being pulled between two, pick both. Here is an overview of each of the piles just so you can see the images more clearly. Group 1, this is your reading. If you chose the Department of Magical Accidents and Catastrophes as your pin, a little shout out to Harry Potter fans, Potterheads there. This is your pile, so let's dig in. Now, like I said, this is a timeless reading, so this is really going to talk to anything that you're feeling around why you're stuck. So these first cards are going to speak to why you are stuck. All right, why are you stuck? What's making you feel stuck? What's holding you back? This is really interesting. When I look at these cards, you've got the Magician and the Two of Wands in reverse, and then you've got the Moon. And the first thing about the Moon is the Moon speaks to this wild energy, this untamed energy. And both of these cards really are about manifestation and power and moving from one phase to the other. The Two of Wands tells me that you've been working really hard internally in your home, creating something, crafting something on your own, and it's time for you to step out and share it with the world. And that may be giving you some anxiety, or you may be holding off on sharing your work with the world. But I'm getting the sense that there's some fear or some blockage around what happens next, around the wildness of it all, the unpredictability of it all, and the spontaneous nature of it all. And the magician again is about manifesting external material things. It's about transformation. It's about being able to combine alchemy, like combine different materials, different elements, and turn it into something different. And you have that skill, but you're not fully tapping into it or honing into it, and something's blocking you. And I get the sense that that really is a fear of success. I get the sense that it's a fear of this potential. So let's look at the next set of cards. This is going to tell us what you need to know to be able to release the energy. Yeah, and so we've got the Three of Cups. We've got the High Priestess. And we've got the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm really feeling, is that in order to overcome this fear, you need to trust in your ability and your talent to craft a great story. Trust in that. Eight of Pentacles is all about going back to the work, about being really detail oriented. I'll lift this up so you can see it maybe better. About being really detail oriented. Trust in the work that you're trying to do, and pay attention to craft, pay attention to details. That's going to help ground you and get rid of all the excess noise that is out there. You have the High Priestess, which is about intuition, and it's in reverse, so I'm guessing this is blocked. So trusting your intuition, listen to your voice, give time for yourself to listen to that voice. Try meditating, try journaling, doing morning pages, that I find those really helpful. That's basically where you just write 3 pages a day in the morning on any topic. It can be your own personal life or it can be specific to a story idea, but there's no pressure. It's just writing 3 words or 3 pages of words, and it's nothing that anybody's going to see. So I would suggest doing that again to help you connect with your internal self. The other thing I'm seeing here is the 3 of Cups, which speaks to friendships. So when you see this here, friendships, I always think of this as sisterhood, right? But this idea that you are connecting with others and you have a support system, and that support system is everlasting, right? That it doesn't ebb and flow with the whims of, what's hot now and the trends or who did what. These are lasting relationships, lasting friendships and partnerships. And because this is in reverse, again, I think that this is blocked. So maybe you have been socially isolating yourself. Maybe you haven't been able to visit with friends or travel and see your really close friends, but take time out to do that. Pick up the phone and talk to them, set up a Zoom date if you need to. If it's a good friend and they're in town, maybe invite them over to your home if you've been both practicing social distancing. But think about ways that you can rebuild that connection with your support system. That's going to help you break through this funk too. They're going to encourage you to, push past that fear of success, and they're going to be able to be a mirror and give you guidance onto when you're being too hard on yourself and when your impression of what the situation is actually incorrect. The interesting thing about this moon card here is that the full moon, in the light of the full moon, sometimes we misinterpret things. Sometimes we see things incorrectly. At night, you could only see through the path of a star or the path of the moon. And in daylight, things often look a lot different. So the moon often can represent illusions, right? We see things that are not really there, the monster under the bed, right? So just keep that in mind. Oh, we also have the World card. Yeah. So look at that. The World card speaks to completion, something that's ended. And so pay attention to that too. I'm feeling like you've actually completed work that you're doing. You've completed a novel, you've completed a script, you feel really good about it, but maybe you haven't gotten eyes on it, you haven't gotten external feedback, or maybe you have, and that praise and that attention and that spotlight, it feels weird, it feels different, and it's paralyzing you because now you have to live up to the expectations of other people. But this is a natural evolution in the process. You've finished this journey. This is the last card in the major arcana. You've finished your journey and it's time to start a new one. All right, so any additional insight for you here? We've got the Devil card. Yeah, we've got the Six of Wands. And we've got the Empress. Okay, so and the Devil card is in reverse. This, a lot of people get nervous when they see things like the Devil card. This doesn't necessarily mean sin in our traditional sense, but it does usually point to indulgence. It points to us like leaning too heavily on our vices. So, what are your go-to vices? A lot of traditional vices that people sometimes abuse would be obviously alcohol, drugs, food, sex. Sometimes it's television, right? Sometimes it's money and shopping. But what are your addictions? What are your vices? What are the things that you cling to when you're under stress? And right now, this 2020 has been a crazy year, right? It's been a long summer. We're starting back to school. But I would just say that because 2020 is so chaotic, you may be leaning more heavily than normal on these vices. So just watch out for that. You don't want to become dependent upon some kind of external substance to help you manage the emotional turmoil of the time and the stress or fear that you have over success. That's going to self-sabotage you. It's going to keep you from seeing the bigger picture and from stepping into your true power. I do see power here. I see glory. I see success. The Six of Wands is all about celebration. It's about triumph. This person is triumphantly returning back home from their battle, from their trip, right? And that's where you are. You've had success. You are successful. You just need to learn how to embrace it and take that pressure off. You've got the Empress, which speaks to birth and creativity, rebirth, intuition. And so I would just say here again, you're ready to start a new project. You're ready, you've completed that cycle. I would also say look to somebody who maybe plays a mothering role or a mentor role to give you feedback or advice. And they can also really help you, step out of that imposter syndrome and step away from this idea that you're not worthy or deserving of this success, right? And help you identify where you're self-sabotaging. Because I do get a sense that like you have a lot of creativity and a lot of power. There's a lot of opportunity and that overwhelms you. And so having somebody, whether it's someone in this trusted circle here, or whether it's the Empress and a mentor or a coach, you need somebody in your life to be able to help ground you so that they can give you a clear picture of what's going on. We've got a couple of other cards that came up. Yeah, the Nine of Swords. So this worry, anxiety, fear, the things that are keeping you up at night, that's definitely connected to your success and the fear of the future and what that means. Again, feeling like you can't live up to that expectations of others. And look at this full cycle. You've got the Fool. The Fool is the very beginning card. It's actually card 0 in the major arcana. And yeah, this is someone who's starting over, starting a new cycle, starting a new journey. So you've got the Fool and you've got the last card in the major arcana, the World. And so yes, this is a time of transition for you. And you need to channel this Fool energy, which basically is that energy of being carefree, being spontaneous, being up for adventure, not putting pressure on yourself, and really trusting in the universe to catch you. I love this because the Fool is at the cliff, right? But she's not worried. She's not afraid that she's going to fall off, and maybe the dog is warning her, but she's so focused on what comes next in a positive way. She trusts that the universe will catch her. She trusts. She doesn't always know what's around every corner, but she's competent enough and she's trust enough that the universe, God, the divine source, whatever you believe in, she trusts that that will have her back. So pay attention to that. Okay, and then a couple of last reminders here. Oh, see, yes, look at this. Luck is on your side. So in terms of what's in the future, what lies in the future, and advice from the oracles, you've got luck is on your side, excuse me. And you've got work through your fears. So yes, there's definite fear here, fear of success. And maybe it's because you've had a little bit of success in the past and you disappointed someone publicly. Maybe it's the public attention and recognition that is scaring you a little bit. But everything feels scary when it's new. Everything feels scary the first time around. But the way to conquer that fear is by facing it. And when you face it, the worry and anxiety, all of this goes away. Okay, and then a couple of other things. Get over yourself. Pull your shit together. I love these Rebel deck cards. They're so on point. Pull your shit together. It says, help people, give back, and do shit for humanity. So stop being in your head all the time and focus on, what you can do to help other people. That will also alleviate some of the worry because you won't have time to worry when you're helping somebody else. And then, yeah, same thing. You're giving too many F's. Give 0, right? So let it go. You're in your head too much. You're worrying too much about things that maybe aren't even problems or real problems or that exist. So let it go. All right, group 1, that was your reading. I hope you found this helpful and insightful. If so, let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future videos. I'm going to move on to group 2 now. Hi, group 2, and welcome. This is your reading. If you chose this pendant, I like to think of this as the charmed pendant. So those charmed fans, you know what I'm talking about. But if you chose this lovely Celtic pendant, this one is for you. So right now we're talking about what is holding you back creatively, what is holding you back in your writing. So I'll pull the first three cards. This will speak to what's holding you back. So we've got the Empress, we've got the Hierophant, and we've got the Ten of Swords. So what's holding you back? Right away, you know, when I see this Ten of Swords, I think of you're tired. I think of being tired and weary. I think of feeling like everything is coming at you all at once, that it's been pretty constant. And you may feel like you've won, you've got the promotion, you got the book deal, you got the agent, you got the scripts done or the book done, but you're exhausted. And there's so much work to continue to do. It's kind of like you won the battle or like you won the war, but it's bittersweet, right? And it's not maybe what you expected. And then I'm also getting the sense with the Hierophant that Hierophants can speak to religion. It can speak to like structured sort of the institutions that we as in society sort of are invested in. And sometimes it can feel really freeing and it can help elevate your thinking. And sometimes it can feel really confining. And I get the sense, again, just by the energy of these cards, that what you're going through is really confining. It's limiting. It's keeping you from finding joy in the work that you're doing. And then we've got the Empress in reverse. So the Empress, I think of birth. I think of birthing new ideas, birthing new projects. And this is in reverse, that's being blocked. So something's keeping you from starting a new project, from pursuing something that you love, something that you're excited about. That's just not happening there. And you may say, my muse is gone. I think of the Empress almost as the muse sometimes. But you may be feeling that blockage there at the start of a new project. And what I would say is like what's driving some of that is really this sense of confinement. One particular thing is if you're a writer and you're clinging to structure, like this doesn't have to be about religion or academics. It could be that you took a writing class and you're trying to follow a specific process writing structure that your professor, that the teacher suggested, and it's not working for you. Maybe you're obsessing over word count. Maybe you're trying to use something like Save the Cat to plot out your novel and it's not working, and you're obsessing over the beats. Maybe you're trying to outline and you're so caught up in the worry that you're not doing the outline right that it's impeding your ability to be creative. So think about the structures that you're trying to do, the process that you're trying to do, and how can you break through that. Some more advice on what you can do to be set free. So we've got the Tower here in reverse. Yeah, we've got the Hanged Man in reverse. And we've got the Six of Wands. Here, let me put this up so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah. This Tower and this Hangman. This is interesting that both of these cards came up. The Hangman really speaks to being stuck, being still. And the beauty about the Hangman is that that card is usually at peace. It's almost like a yoga move in this deck. You can see here when it's right side up. She's not feeling like she's the martyr or sacrificing herself. She's at peace. She chooses to be still. But when it's right side up like this, or when it's in reverse like this, she's not choosing that. That you're blocking that. You're not able to find peace with the stillness, and that's frustrating you. And then thinking about being stuck, the Tower is all about sudden change. And transformation. So, and often these are big things. These are things that like come out of nowhere and they completely shift the path that you're on or the direction that you're on. This is in reverse again. So I'm thinking this is blocked. It may mean that you're nearing towards this and you're kind of stuck because you're feeling like this is going to come up. But I would also say this might be just a sign that like you want a change. You're looking for a big change and you don't know how to get it. You don't know what to do to make that happen. But you're feeling stuck and you're looking for a change, and that will help break you. That will help you break free in this sort of rut. If you can figure out what that is, if you can figure out what is bothering you. I will say the Six of Wands speaks to recognition, celebration, public attention. And so this makes me think about, like, are you sharing your work with others? And you may be obsessing over the business of writing, and the details of writing and the deadlines of writing and trying to make everybody happy. But my suggestion, based on this card showing up here, is that you go back to the fans, you go back to your readers, you go back to the people who love your stories and spend time with them. You know, see what you can give to them. Can you give them a sneak peek at something new? Can you do a public reading for free? Can you, you know, answer emails or hold a webinar? Can do something to connect with the people who love your work, your fans of your work. And that's going to help you remember why you're doing this, which will open up some doors. You need to focus on the why. What's the why behind, why do you want to write? Why do you want to be a storyteller? Why do you want to be an author? Why do you want to make movies? What is that why? That's going to help you there a lot too. And then the last one we have, is this Three of Swords, which speaks to heartache. And a lot of people will think about this as personal relationships. I don't, in this case, I mean, for some of you, that may be it. Like, you may be just distracted with personal relationships, but I really think this is a professional relationship. I really think there's a sense of hurt or betrayal or mistrust with somebody in your circle, somebody who maybe was a mentor, somebody who was an editor or an agent or a manager who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know, there's just some sense of, you let me down, you betrayed me. I feel that. And I feel like that's also blocking you. Again, it has more to do with the business of writing and creating than it has to do with the actual connection to the readers. And so I say, if you can get back here, if you can get back to your why, if you can get back to the story and the response that people have, your fans have, not just people, but your fans have on your writing, that is going to help you get unstuck. More insight and wisdom on this. You got the Two of Swords, the King of Cups. Oh, you guys got a lot of these cards. The Knight of Wands and the King of Swords. Oh, look at all those court cards. So yeah, right away, the Two of Swords, this tells me you're at a stalemate. You're either at a stalemate and you're stuck in between two sides and you don't know which direction to turn, or you're feeling like both parties aren't budging and so there's no resolution to a problem or issue that's happening. It can also be you're feeling like you're at a crossroads. Like, this is a major point in your career and maybe you're afraid that you're going to make the wrong decision. I don't think you are. You need to trust your intuition and listen to the advice of these kings and the knights, because this is really interesting. King of Swords is all about strategy. They're all about logic. They're all about playing the long game. They understand. They are master chess players here. They understand all of the pieces on the board, all the moves that you can make. And that's what allows them to make really sound decisions. And so there's something here that says, look at the logic. Don't trust in that heart. Look at the logic of the situation here, and look at the long-term needs or goals. That's going to help you. You've got the King of Cups, which again is in reverse. It's telling me Kings of Cups are really steadfast. They have this energy where they're not rocked by the waves. They're able to sit on the waves, but not be rocked or swayed by them. They can control their emotions regardless of the external circumstances around them. And so again, I'm feeling this energy that, like, you need to tap into that. Tap into the King of Cups energy. Take some of the emotion out of it. Stay calm, even if other people overreact to a situation or circumstances. Make the decision that is best for you. And then the Knight of Wands. This tells me, again, knights are about action. They're about movement, external movement, forward. And again, wands are about passion. What are you working towards? What do you love? And so this tells me that, like, there's a desire for you to move quickly and to move towards the thing that you love the most, where your heart sings the most. What reaction, what option of these two scenarios makes your heart feel, ooh, I want that, like, jump a little bit? That's what you need to pursue. I will say all of these cards kind of speak to caution, even though it's taking action. Just beware that the knights in reverse and knights speak to impulsivity. And so I just get the sense that, like, don't be reckless. You want to be strategic. All of these are speaking to me as saying, like, you need to be strategic in your choice, and don't be reckless or impulsive. Don't be emotional. Think long term, even though you may be desiring to blow everything up. You may be like, I want to walk away. I want to just leave everything behind and walk away and, screw this. Don't fall into that trap. All right. And then what's in store for you? Some advice from the Oracle decks here. A time for healing. Yes. Take the time to heal, so that you're not acting out of an emotional place. Balance spirituality and practicality. So, right, if you're religious or if you have some kind of spiritual faith, take time to balance that. Make sure you're checking in on that, and make sure that you're finding some balance in your day-to-day life. A time to give rather than take. A time to give rather than take. Think about this. Think about that Six of Wands. How can you give? How can you give back to readers, your audience, your fan base? How can you give rather than obsessing over what you're taking, how much money you're making, what your deal is, what your deadline is? Get away from the business. And this is interesting. I did the Rebel deck. Uh, and yeah, you got two cards here. The first one is, have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. You need food in your belly. Eat a taco. Eat a taco. And the second one is, eat your vegetables. Eat your effing vegetables. Eat some shit made by Mother Nature. So hello, food. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you being healthy? Group two. These messages are saying, like, you might be eating your vices. You might be overindulging in sugar. You might not be eating at all because you're stressed out. That might be your go-to. Eat some vegetables. Take care of your body physically. And that will also give you a clear peace of mind to move forward and to make decisions with confidence. So you want to get rid of any kind of vices or any kind of bad habits that are going to make you act irrationally, and impulsively in this situation. So I hope this resonated for some of you. If so, let me know what's going on in the comments. I always love to see comments on these and see how I can continue to give clarity around anything. Also, remember to like this video. It lets me know that you want to see more like this, and hit subscribe and that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future content. All right. Thanks, guys. Hi, group three, and welcome. I am so excited you're here. If you chose the pile with the Pretty Little Liars 10 on it, this is your reading. Excited to dig in. I love this show, by the way. But yeah, excited to dig in and see what's in store for you. So this reading is all about blockages and what's blocking you, what's keeping you from writing, what's making you feel stuck. And so this is going to give us some insight into what's making you feel stuck right now in your writing and creativity. Okay, so you've got the World card. You've got the Seven of Cups here. And then you've got the Seven of Wands, two sevens. Yeah, wow, okay. So sevens, I always think when I see sevens of taking action, of like a need to take action. And sometimes you're not, but yeah, sevens, I always think about taking action, movement. Okay, so the World card. The World is the last card in the major arcana. And so when this comes up, I always think of a completion of a journey. Having traveled the world and back again. Like you've finished one cycle around the earth, around the moon, around the sun, whatever you want to call it. And you're about to start something new. This Seven of Cups is my daydream cups. And this makes me think that you are at a point where you have a lot of different opportunities. So maybe you've just finished a novel, you've just finished a book, you've just finished a script, and now you're like, okay, that job is done. What do I do next? And you're getting stuck in this phase of like, I don't know what to work on. I don't know which opportunity to say yes to. There's so many. The thing about this is that you can, if you stay in this position of daydreaming and wandering and debating, you'll miss out on opportunities. And I always tell people when they get this card, there's no wrong choice. These are just different paths. It doesn't mean there's a wrong path. Nothing is wasted. You're not wasting time. You're still getting an experience. You're still learning about yourself, about the world. You're honing your craft. So there's no wasted project. There's no path that is wasted. Everything teaches us a lesson. So that may help you break through this paralysis that's happening as you think about all of the different projects or opportunities that could be at your disposal. And then you have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands tells me, I think about this as defensiveness, you know, wanting to go out on your own, wanting to defy others, being sort of an outsider. You can see like all of these wands like are following the rules, and this one's the center. This one's doing its own thing, its own way, is like soaring above these other wands. And that's what I'm getting in the sense that you want to break free from something. You're feeling confined, you're feeling too structured, you're feeling like a little rebel. I get a little sense of a rebellion in here. There's something that you want to do that's different from the traditional path that so many people would have you do. One of these choices is something different, something that people are going to question, and maybe you're afraid to say yes to that opportunity. I just get the sense that that might be what's going on. It may mean a pay cut. It may mean working in a different type of field. It may mean not as visible an audience or a fan base. So people may be like, well, why would you want to write a romance? You've never written romance. Your audience is reads horror, and like that's who you are. You're the horror writer, and you want to try a new project and a new genre. That's okay. I just get the sense that there's something there that's different in one of these 7 options, and you're kind of afraid to take it or say yes to it. So you're just kind of stuck here. Let's get some more insight. So what can you do to get unstuck? The Two of Swords. The Ten of Wands. Yeah. The Seven of Swords. Another 7. It's 3 sevens, you guys. And the Queen of Wands. Oh man, there's so much insight in here, you guys. Yeah, this is telling me you're stuck. This is telling me there's a decision you need to make. I think a 2 of Swords has come up in every single group so far. But the 2 of Swords tells me there's a decision you need to make that you're not making, and that's why you feel stuck. You feel pulled in multiple directions. I'm also getting that with the 10 of Wands. You're carrying a lot of stuff. You have a lot of projects going on. Interesting that fell with the 7 of Cups, right? There's no need. You don't need to do all 7 of those projects. I'm going to say that again for the people who aren't listening. You don't need to do all 7 of the projects. Put them down. Learn to rest and not quit. That's what I think of when I see the 10 of Wands. Learn to rest and not quit. It is okay to set something down. It's not going anywhere, and you can come back to it. Set it down. Pick the project that your heart most wants to work on right now, that the 7 of Wands is telling you to work on, and do that project. And then come back to the rest. They'll still be there. Right? Don't get caught up in this idea that if I don't do this now, I'm going to miss out on my one and only opportunity to tell this story or to publish this book or to get this TV show made. There's a reason why books and films and TV shows take so long to be made. And it's because, a lot of it is luck and a lot of it is timing. And even if you write it, the timing might not be right to publish it. Trust in the universe to give you the right timing and to have you write the right book when the right time is there. And looking at this Queen of Wands, this tells me you're going to be successful in the path if you choose to follow your heart, because the Queen of Wands, she is a powerhouse. She is just as successful as any CEO of any Fortune 500 company, but she's the CEO of her own company. She's a self-starter, and she does business her way. And I love that about the Queen of Wands. She knows how to manifest and create and build, and she knows how to, yeah, she just knows how to tap into her power and her passions and use that to provide for herself. And so I think that's just really powerful. And I love this because this one, she's got a little black cat. She's got her wand here. She's got this glow of power that she's looking at. It's just, she's at peace with who she is. And she's calling the shots on what her success looks like and not allowing the world around her to dictate that. You also have this card, which was the Seven of Swords. So I will say this warning. The Seven of Swords is often like the lone wolf, like the person who wants to go out on his own. You can see he's on this sort of peak way away from the city. But the other thing about the Seven of Swords is that it often speaks to secrets, lies, betrayal, and sometimes we're the cause of that grief and that pain and that angst for other people because we're hiding. We're just being deceptive. We're not being truthful and authentic in our intentions and our actions and our desires. So I will say that this makes me think that something in this decision that you have to make, in this choice that you have to make, and owning that, you're hesitating because you're afraid of hurting someone. So you're not telling them the truth. And if you're not telling them the truth, you're being deceitful, and it's going to cause them more pain and more grief and more heartache. And it's already impacting you because you're feeling stuck and you're not moving forward in your own work. So what I would say is make sure that you're being transparent. Make sure that if you have to have a tough conversation with someone in your circle, do it. It's okay, right? Give them that respect that they need to tell them the truth, and you can work through it. Trust that your relationship is strong enough to work through it. And if it's not, right, then maybe it's time for that relationship to end. Not all relationships are meant to last for a lifetime. So just remember that. Yeah, see, you've got that Five of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the Moon, and the Hermit. Wow. Yeah, see, with this Five of Pentacles, I'm thinking like what's holding you back is fear of what you might lose. So fear of being on the outside, of losing money, of losing friendships and acceptance, of losing material possessions, house and home, and being on the outside. What I love about this though is like, look, this woman in this particular card is not alone. She's not alone. So she may have lost everything around her, but she's not alone. I have another deck that has a door with a giant key sitting beside it. And so even though they feel locked out and like they're an outsider, the key is right there. So what I say when people get this card is I say, like, yes, you have a fear about losing everything. Maybe you're afraid you won't be able to make rent. Maybe you're afraid that you'll have to move back in with your parents. Maybe there's some real concerns about responsibilities and what these decisions will mean for you and your family or your loved ones. But this is also a reminder that, like, one, we have the power to usually open new doors when we take these chances and prevent this kind of thing from happening. But two, the most important thing is your family, your friends, your loved ones, your social circle, right? Like, they will be there for you. The people who are most important will still be there for you. The Hermit, yeah. Again, that lone wolf energy, I'm getting the sense that like you want to step away from folks. Like whatever situation you're in, whatever job you're in, if you're working on a project with a bunch of people and you don't like the folks, if you're working on a TV show and you don't like the room, like that's really getting you down and you kind of want to do your own thing. You want the chance to work on your own show for a while or your own pilot. I get that sense here. Yeah, and then the Hierophant, again, systems and structures. So like feeling the sense of feeling confined, feeling like you have to play by somebody else's rules and you're not liking that. And I would say even if it's a quick project, right? Like maybe you do have a deadline, you have real commitments and real responsibilities and you can't just walk away from those things, but maybe you can take a break. Can you have an honest conversation with your manager, with your agent and say, I need 2 months. I need an extension, and I will be able to come back with a better draft of this project, but I need 2 months to regroup. Be honest, have that conversation. Connect with that higher source and figure out what it is you need to make peace and what it is you need to rekindle the joy, because that's going to give you that break that you may need to work on a fun project for a week or two and then get back into the project that you're stuck on. I see the moon here. And this just tells me that you might be dealing with some illusions, right? Or some demons or some monsters. Things always look different in the light of day. And so I would just encourage you to make sure you're getting an accurate read on what's happening. There's a wild energy that happens with the moon. And so I just get this sense that like you're feeling, maybe you're even feeling cooped up. Maybe you want to break free. You want that wildness and that energy and that opportunity to break free from the structures, from the confines, from the expectations to do your own thing. And I always think about werewolves. And they're wearing the little wolf mask, but I think about werewolves, right, that turn on the full moon, right? And a lot of lore and stories, werewolves can't turn on their own. They are at the mercy of the moon, but they do have to turn every once in a while. And so you have to feed yourself every once in a while as well. Like you have to turn every once in a while and do something that's really creative and inspiring and feeding your soul too, so that you can go back to the other things that maybe pay for your bills and make sure that you're safe and provide for your family. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we like to say, oh, if you're not passionate about everything at every moment of every day, then you're living life wrong. And there's nothing wrong with providing and taking care of your family. I want to make sure that that is clear. Nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with working a full-time job while you write or create. Many, many, many people do it. But just make sure that, like, can you take some vacation days just to write? Can you go on a writer's retreat? Can you sign up for a workshop, virtual or online, where you can devote some time to a project that makes you happy, without any pressure, and then go back to your regular everyday programming? All right. And then a couple more pieces of advice for you before we go. Yeah, surrender to the divine. Just trust in the universe. Trust in the universe and the divine timing of the universe. Things happen when they need to happen. And you can speak up for yourself, and it's not going to ruin your whole destiny, right? So just remember that. The other piece here, yeah, it's time to take action. You've been sitting on the fence, you've been stalling, you've been debating, you've been looking at all these options and not having the courage to take any one of them. It's time. It's time to take action. Stop whining. Stop effing whining. Let's see what it says. Yeah, no one wants to listen to that shit. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. Right? So, what a call to action, you guys. You have the strength, and you don't have to keep complaining about it. And check yourself. Have you been talking about this for 6 months, for a year, for 3 years? Right? It's time to take action. And I know it can be scary, but trust, surrender to the divine, surrender to the divine. Trust in the universe, and do some yoga. You need some effing yoga in your life. Ancient shit is cool. So yeah, you need some yoga in your life. And not just yoga, but I think the thing about yoga is that it moves your body and it connects your body to your mind. And so I would say do things that are going to heal your body and stretch your body and relax your body and help you manage stress, and also quiet your mind, right? Because that's going to give you perspective and it's going to help you make the right decision. Okay, so group number 3, that was your reading. I hope it resonated with some of you. And remember, if it didn't resonate, maybe you just chose the wrong pile, and go back and look at the piles again and choose another group. That's fine. But if it did resonate, let me know down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like, because it lets me know that you enjoyed this video, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content that I post. All right, take care, you guys. Bye. Hello, group number 4. This is your reading. Last but not least, yes, if you chose the Bad Robot button, this is from the Bad Robot workshop when I went to their production studios over in Santa Monica. So if you chose this group, this is your reading. Let's see what's in here. So now, like, what we're talking about today is being stuck, right? So what's holding you back? What's keeping you stuck right now creatively? What's holding you back creatively? Okay, so these first questions or first cards are going to illustrate what's holding you back. Okay, so we've got the Two of Swords. This keeps coming up. The Two of Swords, the Emperor, and the Six of Swords. Okay, so first with the swords, you've got a couple of swords here, and so a lot of swords have been coming up in this reading, and that's because swords represent our mind, our thoughts, and so your head is getting in the way, right? You're thinking too much, and that's getting in the way. I will say that there's a decision. You're at a crossroads, right? You're with this Two of Swords. You're usually at a point where you have to make a decision. You haven't made one yet, and so that could be blocking you. It could also mean that you're at a stalemate. You're in a debate or in an argument with somebody, and you can't reconcile it. You both come as far as you think you can come. And so there's something there. There's just that energy there of not being able to move forward because you're fighting something that is outside of your control, and there's no wiggle room. There's no room for negotiation right now. So that could be a reason why you're creatively blocked. I mean, this can be also the external, like, collective energy, right? Of just feeling like 2020 is kind of a crappy year. So I feel like I can't do anything because all of my hands are tied on all of these different things. So that, like, give yourself credit, give yourself grace, know that, like, that could be at play, especially because you have the Emperor card. Group 4, you have the Emperor card. This is the year of the Emperor. So again, that could be playing a part in this. The Emperor also speaks to authority, structure, being very rigid. You may be obsessing over trying to use a specific system or structure, and that's stifling your creativity a little bit. And then we've got the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords speaks to feeling like you're not in control, right? Sometimes it can represent depression, but usually it's a feeling like you're not in the driver's seat. You're being sort of guided, carried, molded, trapped by the other forces at bay, and you're just sort of along for the ride. So there's definitely, you're feeling blocked because you're not creatively allowed to make the decisions about your writing or the project that you're working on, or how you spend your time. Maybe you're not getting enough writing time just because there's so many other factors at play right now that are outside of your control is what I'm feeling. And trying to be the responsible adult, the responsible parent or whatnot, like, there are responsibilities that are demanding your attention right now. And you need to focus on those. And that's why you're not getting the creativity and the creative output that you maybe desire. A couple of other cards. So we've got the King of Wands. Yeah, look at that. The Five of Cups. I'm going to come back to that in a second. Our Two of Pentacles. And our Strength. Oh, goodness, you guys. There's so much here that connects and feeds off of each other. So, yeah, let's start here with the King of Wands and the Strength card. So I'm going to hold these right side up, so hopefully you'll be able to see them. Both of these have to do with lions, Leo energy, bravery, and courage. So I'm getting the sense that, like, because these are in reverse, you're not fully tapping into your strength. You're not being brave. You're not standing up for what you believe in. You're not channeling that energy. The King of Wands is a very popular person. They're charismatic and they're confident. I mean, they are the ultimate Leos, right? They're kind of bold, kind of ballsy. They have swagger, right? And they have charisma and they're popular and they know it. Sorry, Leos. But there's that King of Wands energy here, that Leo energy, and this group. Maybe you're Leo, maybe you know a Leo, but I just get this sense that you need to channel that you need to have courage, that you need to stick by your convictions, and that you need to tap into that entrepreneurial skill set of the King of Wands. The King of Wands, those are like your CEOs, right? King of Wands are people who are exceptional leaders. But they're the showy leaders. They're like the Steve Jobs, they're like the showy, flashy, leaders that everybody knows. They're household names. That kind of energy comes with the King of Wands, and there's just this sense here that like you are not tapped into that at all. Instead, what I'm seeing is that we've got this Five of Cups energy. And Five of Cups is all about focusing on what you've lost. And so it's okay to grieve. I want to say that it is absolutely okay to grieve. My question here is you've lost something and maybe it's time for you to step out of the grieving phase. Maybe you've grieved long enough. And maybe you haven't lost as much as you thought you have. And this can be on a big scale or it can be on a small scale. Like maybe you actually lost a loved one. And of course, that grieving is really, really difficult to do. And it is not a linear progression, no matter what researchers and psychologists will tell you. So yeah, like you may have lost someone, you may have lost a job, you may have lost your home, you may have had to relocate with somebody because of the pandemic, or you may have lost a manager, right? Or a reading partner, or writing partner. You may have gotten really nasty feedback on a book. Maybe you lost your editor, right? So there's some transition that has happened or occurred in the last few months that is making you really focused on the loss of that, the grief and the anxiety. Thing I tell people is like, when you look at this, yes, you've lost something, but look at this. She's got a cup here full of light and love and opportunity, right? So, and she's actually pouring this out because she's so focused on these empty ones. She's just kind of throwing these other opportunities that she has away because she can't get over or past what she's lost. So this is a reminder, like I think of this as, crying over spilled milk. That whole storyline there is that like you've lost some, but you still have stuff. You still have reason to live and to write and to do things, and there's still opportunities. It's not all lost. That's what I'm getting here. The Two of Pentacles is speaks to balance. So I think about work and play. Think about, and I don't mean that as literally as it sounds, like, although it could be like, are you giving yourself time to play and do fun things while you're actually working and paying the bills? But I also really mean like, even in your writing, like there's business sides that you have to take care of in your writing. Like, do you have a social media account? Are you meeting your deadlines? Are you paying your vendors, right? Like, do you have relationships? Are you networking? That's the business side of writing. And then are you balancing that out with the creative side and the writing time side? So look for opportunities to create a little bit of structure and balance in that way. And that might help open some doors. Okay, let's see what other words of wisdom or advice the cards have. Oh my gosh, look at that. Another Five of Cups. Another Five of Cups in reverse. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you can see this imagery too, right? There's 3 cups spilt, and this man or woman is looking at the cup spilt. There's 2 cups that are not spilt, that are full, that are right behind them. So again, pay attention to that. The Page of Cups, more cups. This speaks to new relationships, new ideas. With cups, it's usually relationships, but newness, young, tadpoles, little ideas. And the chariot. Chariot speaks to success, the successful return. I always think of this as you've won a battle, right? You've won a battle, you've come back, and you need to speak success. So, like, to me, this says whatever you're going through, you're going to get through it. And success is probably near. You're going to get through it, and that success is near as long as you come out of that grieving phase and really look at the opportunities that you have. I would say maybe even think about doing a gratitude journal to get your mind out of this place. Look at this. Okay, well, actually, let's do these first. We'll do the Moon Oracle first. Don't let your past hold you back. So not every experience is the same. Sometimes we fixate too much on our past, and we think we can change the outcome, or we think it's going to keep happening over and over again. So don't let your past hold you back or keep you from making the decision you need to make. And then the answers that you need are coming. So yeah, here you go. The Chariot. The answers that you need are coming. So be open, be aware. Again, I think, and practicing that gratitude and doing that gratitude journal and helping you shift your mind from what you've lost to what you still have and what new opportunities arise. Those answers are coming. Stop talking. Stop talking, you guys. Shut your mouth and listen. Oh my goodness, because the answers are coming. The answers are coming. So stop talking, shut your mouth, and listen. And those answers will come to you. You look like a shit show. So maybe take a shower. What does it say? You're a hot mess. Fact. Clean yourself up. So be ready. And actually, I do want to say this, like, be ready for opportunities because they may surprise you. So you may be depressed, you may be sad, you may be grieving, you may be really in your feels and in your emotion right now, but take a shower, do your hair, put on some clean clothes. You never know who you'll meet at the mailbox, who you'll meet at the grocery store, right? What connections you'll make, what meetings will pop up on your calendar. So get yourself together. And if you start acting like you have that new opportunity already signed, sealed, and delivered, it'll manifest itself. So I know this sounds like a silly kind of thing, like, oh, you're a hot mess, clean yourself up. But when you do that, you make space for the new opportunities to manifest. All right, group 4, last but not least, group 4, that was your reading. I hope it resonated with you. If not, feel free to jump to one of the other piles and see if one of those messages resonates stronger. It just means that you didn't fully trust your intuition on which pile that you were called to. And a lot of times people are called to multiple piles. And so there's things that resonate with one group and or multiple groups that will resonate with you. I will say, please take a moment to write some comments down below about how you like the video. Did this resonate or not? Did you find it helpful? Also, don't forget to like, because that lets me know you want to see more videos like this, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content. I am so grateful for all of you. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.